Hey, we are live. I'm the one and only Lee Sanders. You are checking out a special edition of the RCWR Show as we are talking about Super Bowl 2018, the Super Bowl 52. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New England Patriots. Nick Foles and his Eagles taking on Tom Brady and his Patriots. We literally just saw the game go off the air. We already had the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy. And I know that there's probably a big ton of guys right now. And shout out to those of you that maybe were able to get away from your significant other, your cuties, because This Is Us and all new This Is Us is coming on. And if you're kind of like me, you're kind of like, I kind of want to, that's that sensitive hour moment after I just watched a whole lot of testosterone, men just raw tackles and helmets. And oh my, like you're trying to get away from that. Like, hey, I appreciate you guys that's checking out this special edition of the RCWR Show. This should actually not be a stranger to anybody. I mean, for the past couple of years now, I've actually been coming on live right after the Super Bowl is over, talking about overall feelings of the game. We definitely talk about all the commercials that was like, okay, this was good, this was not good. I try to cover all the commercials as much as humanly possible. I timed my bathroom break. By the way, I timed it perfectly because I did it while the game was on, while there wasn't any like commercials or anything like that. So I pretty much had saw all the commercials that aired on TV. Now, some companies this year, they may have taken the slick route and they may have shown some commercials that were like exclusive on social media platforms. So I don't know anything about that. Now, if there are those of you that saw some of those commercials on social media and you want to post a comment down below and be like, hey guys, Lee, like they also did this commercial, but it was on social media, post your comments down below. And hey man, make sure you get at me on Twitter, Facebook. I'm all over the place. Use the keywords, the RCWR Show. And if you're new, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as I am on here live every single week. I'll give you the details on that in just a hot second. But let's go ahead and talk about this game. Now, look, I'm no Michael Wilbon. I am no Stephen A. Smith. This is not ESPN. This ain't no Sports Center. This ain't your local news. This ain't the George Michael Sports Machine. So I'm not going to be doing like I did it the previous years and give you guys play by play by play by play by play. I'm just going to take some key points from what we all watched overall, and I'm just going to go from there. I'm going to set up the dialogue, and we're pretty much just going to talk about it amongst ourselves. So, I mean, overall, when I think about this game, what a great Super Bowl game. And I mean, when I just think back to how many Super Bowl games I have seen in my lifetime so far, this ranks high up there. This ranks really high up there for me. I mean, it is just like back and forth, just the nail biting. And like everybody knows, especially longtime listeners know how much of a fan I have been of Brady and the Patriots. Now, I should note that the Patriots, and I've said this, longtime listeners can back me up. The Patriots are just one football team that I follow every single season. On record, I follow Patriots, I follow the Giants, I follow the Ravens, I follow Eagles. Who else do I follow? I follow San Fran. Even after they've gotten rid of Colin Kaepernick, I still follow them. I follow the Steelers. So I have my my hands full when it comes to teams that I follow. I tolerate the Redskins. I know I'm in the DMV, but I say I tolerate the Washington Redskins. I tolerate the Washington Redskins mainly because my girl loves the Redskins. So anytime there's a game on, I'm usually kicking back and it's like, okay, well, let me see a little something. We got our own drama in the DMV as it is with what went down apparently with the Kansas City Chiefs in Washington. Looks like Kirk Cousins is going to be on his way out the door packing, right? Yeah, don't let the door hit you in the ass, Kirk. But that's a different topic for another time. So there are definitely a decent amount of teams that I follow every single year. And when it came down to the Super Bowl, I said, well, man, Patriots have been there so many times. I don't know. It's like I hate to choose against the Eagles, but I kind of got to go with the Eagles here, man. I don't know. But there's always that old saying of, hey, the hungrier team always is going to prevail. Like when you have the other team that's been there so many times, they know the routine, they know the whole shtick. Sometimes it's a matter of, well, what's going on with that other team? And in the case of the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that has been to the Super Bowl on at least 3 occasions. One of their last times was in 2004. They just didn't get the job done. So this was actually their third time. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but this was actually the Philadelphia Eagles' third time going to the Super Bowl. So would luck be a lady this go round? And hell yeah, luck was a lady this go round. If you would have told me, and I think we all that are football fans really need to marinate on this for a few ticks. If you would have told me last year, right before the 2017, 2017-18 season wrapped up or whatever, if you would have said to me, Lee, Chris Long, Howie Long's son, who's playing with the New England Patriots right now, he's going to leave that team, but the next team that he joins, he is going to be with them, and they're going to be going to the Super Bowl, and Chris Long is going to be winning back-to-back Super Bowls. I would have said to you guys, that makes no freaking sense whatsoever. He's got a good thing going with New England. Like, no, what are you smoking? You got to be crazy. But sure enough, Chris Long, and can we give Chris Long a lot of credit here? I mean, I love Chris Long. Chris Long, just like his dad, outspoken, but a little bit more outspoken than his dad. But just all around great civilian, great ambassador, great representation of the National Football League. I tell you, here was a guy that was in a very unique position. He's with the New England Patriots. Why rock the boat? You got a great thing that's going on here. Why you want to mess it up? Why you want to leave the New England Patriots? It wasn't a case where the Patriots kicked him to the curb or whatever. It was basically a case of Chris Long saying to the powers that be, hey, look, I'm much more than the position you're trying to have me play. I can do so much more and show you guys what I can really do. And New England really wasn't trying to budge. It was kind of like, yeah, we get that, but we got this thing that's already happening. You're fitting your role perfectly. Every man is knowing their assignments and everything. Just like stick to what you're doing, and y'all will be okay. I'm watching the stream right now. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm watching the stream playback right now, and I see there's a little bit of buffering that's going on. I'm not sure if maybe it's bad weather or what, but you guys in the chat that's checking this stream out live right now, if you continue to see any type of weird pauses, whatnot, let me know if you see any lag or you're experiencing any lag, and I'll see if maybe I can close a couple of more windows. I'm actually closing a couple right now, and that should kind of help us out for the rest of the stream. So sorry about that, guys. But no, getting back on track here, for Chris Long to say, look, I'd rather just go on ahead, go to another team because I know what I can truly offer. I mean, you couldn't write this any better. I mean, it's a freaking graphic novel Hollywood story. You couldn't write this any better. But, for me, key points to this game, and I think we all can be in agreement. One of the plays that just kind of left me scratching my head, I'm going to look at it from two perspectives. First off, as long as I have been watching Tom Brady and the Patriots, and I go back years, almost as long as Brady was a starter. One of the things that I have always said about Tom Brady and the Patriots is the key to defeating Tom Brady and the Patriots. If you are the defense for the opposing team, you need to do everything in your power to make sure that Tom Brady does not come back on the field. Milk that clock for all it's worth. Time of possession, that is like your greatest ally. Do whatever you can to wear out the Patriot defense. That is like the main key. The other part to that, do not give Tom Brady all those looks. All right. Don't let him be back there for like 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, because the more time that lapses, he's able to get something going. He's able to make something out of nothing. Okay. So those are the keys. You got to put that pressure on him when you're the defense and you're taking on Tom Brady. You've got to put the pressure on him. If possible, dress it up how many different ways you can. You got to come at him with the blitz. And I tell you, Eagles, for the most part, they did a good job against Tom Brady. For the most part, they did a good job, but they don't call Tom Brady one of the best clutch players for nothing. I mean, what we saw of this guy time and time again over the years, he has been like the Michael Jordan of comebacks in the fourth quarter. Anybody, I don't care if you're a Brady hater, you have to at least admit that fourth quarter ball is in Brady's hands. You don't want that, especially if he has like an infinity amount of time left. He can like make something happen. He can make scoring drives. Nothing is more, watch out now, than the wild man Tom Brady. You see it in his eyes. You see when he gets possessed, and it's like he is a man on a mission. So I thought with the way the Eagles had played tonight against Brady, they did it well. They did their assignment well. I personally felt those for me were the keys. I looked at it from both standpoints, but from the Eagles standpoint, those were the keys for me. And I think Eagles did a really good job of staying on top of that assignment. Also, can I give mad credit to Nick Foles? Here is a guy that, my God, what is it, guys? Longtime football fans, what is it? Like Nick Foles came in what, like week 14 or week 15 for Carson Wentz, and you're going, okay, that's got to be it for Carson. Okay, yeah, he's out for the year. My God. And you're going, man, well, that journey was great for all it was worth. Yeah, Nick Foles taking the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know about that, but like we see this guy and just the way he has been able to play. Most backup quarterbacks, can we all admit this? Unless it's been like a Steve Young or Tom Brady replacing Drew Bledsoe or whatever, unless it's been like a situation like that, like we all can be in agreement. Like normally when your star quarterback is out because of an injury, for the backup quarterback to come in, not only play well, but get your team over the hump, get your team a victory, and just somehow be able to string along wins, take your team into the playoffs, and then put a bookend on it and take your team to the championship of championship games, to take them to the Super Bowl, and then to win the whole damn thing. Can I just say, Nick Foles, in all my years of watching sports in general, and I think a lot of you all would be like, yes, Lee, yes. I have never seen a player come in with so much on his shoulders, and just with such great poise, with such great conviction, with such a great work mentality, with such a great demeanor, is able to go in there and just, okay, I know my assignments. I know what I'm expected to do. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the damn thing. For this young man, Nick Foles, to be able to go out there, no pressure whatsoever. If this young man truly felt pressure, like I remember how all the sports media shows, outlets, newspapers, and all that were picking on this kid when he was giving interviews, and he just sounded boring as hell. There was no charisma. There was no energy coming out him whatsoever. It's kind of like, man, this guy's kind of like, all right, he's finally getting his 15 minutes of fame. And he's just kind of like, yeah, it's a really good position that we're in, and we're really happy to be here. And it's just on to the next game, on to next week. And it's kind of like, wow, get this vanilla out of here. I'm not talking about race, folks. I'm just talking about the flavor. Not has nothing to do with race. It's like, get this vanilla flavor. It's too plain. Can we get some sprinkles? Can we get some hot fudge? Can we put some bananas on that? Shit. Can we get some nuts? Can we get something? Because this Nick Foles guy is just so bland. But this guy, the way he acted, in these weeks. You see, it's not a case where you got a lot of people that's going to be like, oh, Nick, no, I've watched Nick Foles since the minute he came in for Wentz this season. And what I saw in this guy going all the way up to the conclusion tonight was a guy, everything I just described, and you'd have swore that this man had been playing as a first starter, a first string quarterback for like the past 15 years. That's how he's been playing these past several weeks since he's been named the go-to guy. Week after week after week, it's like the fundamentals that he has been able to learn. He's been able to string them all together, and he has just become like this overall. I mean, if you are a New England Patriots fan, if you are the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, if you are the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, if you are the quarterback coach for the New England Patriots, you've got to be shaking your head, and you just have to be embarrassed tonight that you got whooped by a second string quarterback. You have to be embarrassed that you got outplayed. Now, granted, we need to give credit where it's due with regards to how the Eagles had did it with their offensive coordination, with their QB coach, right? We definitely got to also give the props to the Eagles side of the defense. But when it's all said and done, those great minds that are drawing up the plays, respectfully, they are on the sidelines. At the end of the day, it is all about what the players on the field are able to execute. And I'm sorry, I'm just calling it how it is. It's not, oh, you're Eagles or you're Patriots. No. I'm being unbiased. That's possible. That's why you guys come to me every single week. I'm telling it like it is. If you are in one of those positions for the Patriots, you got to be embarrassed that y'all lost to a second string quarterback. Just saying. And now you have a very interesting dilemma that's on your hands if you are the Eagles, because Nick Foles is under a 5-year contract deal as we speak. However, because of the way his contract was set up, apparently come February of 2019, he will automatically become a free agent. Because of the way his contract is set up, he will automatically become a free agent. The Eagles, they basically did this in a unique way to basically make sure that whatever was going to be going down with Nick Foles, it wasn't going to hurt their salary cap big time. Okay. So again, he signed this 5-year contract. Like I said, February 2019. So when February 2019 hits, he's going to be in the final 3 years of that contract. But because of when February 2019 hits, because of that one stipulation that I mentioned, he'll be able to become a free agent. And also, the way the contract was set up, it almost guarantees that Foles will be traded February of 2019, not unless the powers that be in Philly try to sit down and renegotiate, try to figure some stuff out or whatever. Now, Foles, apparently he gets a prorate $3 million signing bonus over a 5-year span, reducing his cap hit. It also allows Foles to not have to worry about riding the bench until Wentz gets hurt. The total value of the deal is estimated to be at about $27.5 million over the next 5 years. Over the next 3 years of the deal, Foles' contract will be worth $5.5 million per year, plus the $600,000 signing bonus. So, I mean, when you just consider all that's going on right now, you're kind of going, wow. And you've got the Eagles owner saying, with regards to Nick Foles, oh no, he's not a backup quarterback. No. Like the minute that he got out there and see, this is the other thing that like we all need to constantly remember is like when you get your team to the Super Bowl, there is bonuses and all that, but like when you win the Super Bowl, there's like man. So I mean, when it's all said and done, there are going to be a lot of teams that's going to be knocking on the door like, hey, can Nick Foles come out and play? Can we talk to this guy? Now, I've talked about the Eagles. let's flip it and let's talk a little bit more about the Patriots. And then, of course, I want to talk a little bit about the game. I just want to talk about key things that jumped out in my mind. You know, we talked about the keys to success for the Eagles. I do want to flip it and talk about where things kind of went wrong for the Patriots, but I'll get to that in just a second. Hope you guys are enjoying the after show right now. If you are, make sure you give me those thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe, as I'm always live for you guys every single Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, as soon as WWE SmackDown goes off the air. It's called the RCWR Show, and we cover the very latest in wrestling, entertainment, pop culture news, and beyond. We've been doing it since 2011. It's a great variety show. I feel you guys will definitely enjoy it. We stream it live here on YouTube, but it is also available as live radio / podcast on Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play. It's all over the place. Use the keywords, the RCWR Show. Continuing on. Now, let's look at the Patriots side of things. You talk about a great class of minds that we had for the Patriots. I want to home in on two names in particular, and I think any veteran football fan knows about the two names I'm getting ready to mention. And I mean, you can't help, and I'm sure this is going to be a big talk for a lot of sports radio shows, Sports Center, the FS1 show. Everybody's going to be talking about this all summer long. But of course, Josh McDaniel, the offensive coordinator and also the quarterback coach for the New England Patriots. He's held that position since 2012. The announcement is officially going to be made in a matter of days, but he is going to be named the new head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Also, you look at Matt Patricia. Now he's been with the New England Patriots since 2004. He's worn a couple of different hats for the Patriots, but 2012 he's been the defensive coordinator. And I tell you, the great work that he's been able to do as a defensive coordinator, I was about to say Schwarzenegger, sorry there, guys, but what he's been able to do as a defensive coordinator, I did it again. What he's been able to do as the defensive coordinator, there you go. Yeah, third time's the charm, right? It's been impeccable. I mean, the league for the Patriots on the defensive end, they have like ranked in the top 10 or in the single digits under this guy. Has done a phenomenal job as the defensive coordinator since 2012. These are two cornerstones. These are two critical pieces for the Patriots organization that they are losing now that the season is over for the Patriots. Matt Patricia, it's announced that he's going to be the new head coach for the Detroit Lions. So two critical guys right there that, you know, honestly, you hear what Brady had said, which is this whole, the way I feel right now, I can keep playing until I'm 45. And you're going, that's great. You've got Bob Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, going, well, hell, if Brady says that he can play until he's 45, my God, man, I like what I'm seeing from this man. Whoo, man, if that's the case, I don't need who's the guy that they got rid of for the Patriots? Jimmy Garoppolo. So I don't need him. We can go on ahead. We can get rid of him. You had your future right there. And you just decide to go on ahead and say, okay, you know what? It's okay. We're good. We don't need Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, Belichick, you've done a really good job molding him. Yes, he'd be a great successor to Tom Brady. Yes, but you know what, man? I got Brady over. That's my son. That's Tom Brady Kraft, right? That's my son. No. Get rid of him. I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm speechless right now at some of the moves that were done, and now you factor in the two guys that are gonna. I'm not trying to like warning, like hit the panic button, but if you're a Patriots fan, you can't help but kind of wonder like how much of a significant blow that's going to be to the Patriots for the next couple of years. So, I mean, different time, different place, but that's just something that you like definitely need to marinate on as you go into the off season and you're thinking about the 2018-19 season. Now, let's talk about the game itself. I told you all how it was keys for success to the for the Eagles, right? Let's talk about the Patriots. Where do I begin with the Patriots? Patriots, it just seemed like when it was time for Tom Brady and the offense to go out there, I mean, Eagles defense, they were shutting them down pretty good. Usually the Patriots are pretty good on third down conversions, but against the Eagles tonight, it was kind of like basically for every 10 opportunities that the Patriots were in a position to be able to convert on third down and get a new set of downs, for every 10 attempts, like maybe the Patriots would be able to get 4, maybe 5. So it was almost kind of like 50-50, right? And usually that's not the MO. Usually Patriots are used to just having it their way when it comes to third down conversions, when they need it the most, and they are just, you can't really touch them in the red zone. But I felt that Eagles, they did their assignments very well. They did their job well, sticking to their man for coverage, and they did a really good job putting the pressure on Tom Brady. Brady, I don't have the exact score numbers in front of me, but somebody can help me out in the chat. I think Tom Brady overall, he threw for like over 500 and something yards. And you're going, God damn it. And a lot of us were kind of going, the way Tom's playing tonight, he may go for 600. He may be able to crack 600. But I'm looking at the Patriot side of things. One play that I look back on and I go, what's going on? The two missed kicks by the kicker for the Patriots. Now, some could say, yeah, but Lee, Eagles, but like when you go over to the Patriots side, that kicker is usually like, he is almost like Adam Vinatieri. Like, it's rare that dude freaking messes up. Okay. I'm looking at number 3. I'm going, somebody give this guy a Snickers ASAP, because obviously he is not himself right now. That's just literally how I'm coming off at this dude. And I'm saying to myself, I'm watching the TV with the family and I'm going, watch, because this guy missed those 2 kicks. That's going to come back and that's going to bite the Patriots in the ass. You know it. Just watch. And then the other thing that jumped out in my mind, there was a very questionable play. I'm just looking at my notes right here, just certain notes I had wanted to take down. I'm looking at the one play, 4th down. Yeah, 4th and 5 from the 35. You could have easily just went out there, kicked it, get you 3 easy points. 3 easy points. You don't do that. Instead, you actually try to throw the ball from that 4th down, 4th and 5. Thinking, I don't know what, maybe you can get a new set of downs. I don't know what I don't know who drew that up. I don't know if that was a Tom Brady call. I don't know if that was a Bill Belichick call. I don't know if that was a Josh McDaniel call. I don't know who called that, but that was just a silly, I think we can be in agreement, that was a very silly call to been made. And then the other play that just really kind of like, what were you thinking here? We see, what was it, guys? First half, and Tom Brady tries to do that whole gadget throw. He basically passes it off, and then he runs clear as day. And one thing Tom Brady definitely is not, Tom Brady is not a catcher. But I like how we flip the script, and we see later on, it's like the Eagles go, that was actually a nice play. Let's take that, and let's show the Patriots how it's done. And they make it look so effortless. One could kind of say, oh, Father Time's kind of catching up with Tom. Or you could just be like, no, they just really did not execute it properly. Speaking of Tom versus time, another thing I need to point out, and I hope this is a message to a lot of people in the NFL. Word of advice, if you're going to do a documentary boosting about, now look, I'm a Patriots fan. I am. But even I know bullshit when I see it. If you are an NFL fan, and you want to make a little mini series about how good you are, how you're in the best shape of your life right now, how you've got a great family, and how you think you've found the tools to success to be able to have continued longevity playing the sport that you love, just a piece of advice. If you're going to do a little documentary series like that, do it during the off season. What better way to give ammo to the enemy, right? I mean, just marinate on that for a few takes, okay? Marinate on that for a few takes. Way to give intel to the opposing team going into the Super Bowl. That is balls. That is serious balls. I don't know how much money Brady is making off of this. I'm not one to be dipping into another man's pockets trying to figure out how much money they're making off of whatever. That ain't none of my business. All right. Now, if he want to brag about it, if he wants to address that in interviews and we get a transcript that way, all right, that's one thing. But, I try to steer away from stuff like that. But you got this Tom versus Time little mini documentary. What was it? 4, 5, 6 goddamn episodes that they put out. And you're going, wow. Okay, so we see how you train, we see how you rehab, we see how you stay fit, we see all of these things, and all I need is just 2 seconds, and I can throw the ball. Like it's so easy for me. All I do is watch game film, and I'm addicted to it. When it's time to go to bed, I just gotta watch film. And you're like, way to tell the other team, hey, look, if you want to beat me, like, this is how you just the arrogance, the cockiness of it. That just rubbed me the wrong way. And I saw snippets of this documentary, and I'm kind of going, man, if you're the Eagle, I'm going, man, if I'm in the Eagles, this is great intel. This just fuels me up even further. This just rocks me even further. This just shakes me up even more to look forward to Super Bowl Sunday and beating Tom Brady's behind. And that's exactly what they did. It was almost like inadvertently Tom Brady was that little kid with the stick at the park, and he just kept poking at the bear through the fence, right? It's like, don't poke the bear, don't feed the bear. And in this case, the Bears were the Eagles. And the Eagles just was like, okay, we got you. We got you. We're not going to lash out right now. We'll see what goes down on the field. For all that boosting in the world, and I tell you, I would not be surprised if in the coming days we hear that, oh yeah, a couple of coordinators from the Eagles side, they were watching the little documentary. They made some very interesting bullet points, and I would not be surprised. I don't think anybody would honestly be surprised. But I mean, we had that questionable play. And those questionable plays that I just mentioned, and for me, those were like key defining moments as far as like trying to score points. The other critical moment, we can all be in agreement for this one, fourth quarter, and you got like 2 minutes, 21 seconds to go. I don't give a flying, you know what? Y'all can try to convince me until I am blue in the face. Okay, you could try to convince me until I'm blue in the face. It ain't happening. But Phillies, Zach Ertz, who makes that play. I don't care about the whole, well, is he a runner and all this, all that hoopla bull crap. All I care about is from the time that he catches the ball and he goes into the end zone and he falls, was he able to continue to maintain possession of the ball? And I'm sorry, he did not maintain possession fully. I mean, you see the right hand, you see when he makes contact with the ground, the ball comes out of the right hand. And freaking Skeletor, and I know that's not his real name, but that's just my running gag for this guy. I've been calling him that for years. He comes off like a pompous jackass of a referee. That's the referee that took that little freaking piece of paper and was like, oh, it's a first down. This guy, I'm going, Skeletor, what the hell, man? You don't have to keep looking at it over and over and over again. You know this was not a catch. So
I'm already kicking back, anticipating that touchdown that's going to come back. Either the Eagles are going to have to like try to go for it, or they're going to kick a field goal. But Patriots, they're still in this, right? If you're a Patriots fan, that's what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, no, that's going to come back. What the hell? Skip Bayless, guy I respect a great deal. Yeah, sometimes he talks out of both sides of his mouth. Sometimes he says some stuff that, like, I even have to agree with, because he's part of my Twitter timeline of folks that I'm following. Even he said that was not a catch. And you know what? If I'm Vince McMahon and the XFL right now, I got to kind of give a nod to our wrestling fans. You know what? I hope that legitimately with the XFL, I hope that the XFL is truly, truly able to succeed, where the NFL just continues to fumble, no pun intended, with these rules. And I know that veteran players, current players, they had already met with Roger Goodell, officials, about these controversial catches, and they're going to try to clean it up a little bit during the offseason. We'll feel its impacts during the 2018-19 NFL season. I can't wait for that to come. I can't wait for like us to be done with it, because the rules need to be more simplified. Okay? It needs to be more simplified. Just go back, look at that play. Just really look at that play. The ball comes out of Ertz's right hand right when he hits the ground. He did not maintain possession throughout. Sorry, but that just sucked the wind out of Patriot Nation, I think, when you look at that. And then the other key, the other moment that jumped out at me for the Patriots side, when Brady gets the ball back after that controversial call by Skeletor, you're going, okay, you see the look in Tom Brady. He's got the wild man eyes. Looks like he's a man on a mission. He's going for the drives. Let's see what he does. And what happens? Tom Brady. I thought maybe it might have been ruled an incomplete pass, because I thought for a second there really wasn't forward progress, but I didn't catch the guy that was playing for Philly that did that. It was technically a sack that they did on Brady, and they ended up getting the ball back. That was a defining moment as well, that ultimately had all those things that I just mentioned. It just, in the end, set up the Eagles for a well-fought, well-deserved win over the Patriots. And I tell you, it was a great back and forth. But like I said, if I'm Eagles, very questionable calls at that, from what I had just described. It really kind of came off to me like Matt Patricia did not know how to counter such a good Eagles defense. Like, he just did not have the answer for these guys, and it was just nerve-wracking. Anytime you see Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia tag teaming, talking to the defense, saying, look, man, whatever, you're like, man, this is bad. This is bad when they're both tag teaming on the defense. But as far as I'm concerned, Tom Brady has nothing to be ashamed about with his performance. He did a phenomenal job. Belichick, Matt Patricia, they didn't live up to their end of the bargain. When you go back and look at that game overall, Tom did his part. The offense, for the most part, they did their part. Gronkowski, Danny Amendola, Hogan, they all those guys, they did their part. Defense takes the direction from the coordinators. And for me, Patricia, Belichick, to a degree, they didn't get the job done from the defensive end. They did not get the job done. So great game, well fought out. Final score for that game, for those of you that maybe didn't get a chance to check out that game, you're checking out the live after show right now. Welcome to you guys. Final score for that one, 41-33. Eagles, your 2018 Super Bowl 52 champions. Great game. Let's talk about some of these commercials that we had got, shall we? Oh, actually, you know what? Before I get to the commercials, let's tackle Justin Timberlake and his Pepsi halftime show. I can't believe that this milestone had hit tonight, and I'm not really sure how many of you all were actually aware of this milestone. But were y'all aware that tonight had marked the 25th anniversary of when Michael Jackson had did the first ever, extremely extravagant NFL halftime show? You got to rewind it back 25 years and you got to look at what all was going down 25 years ago, because sadly, the NFL, they were pretty much struggling in ratings. They were struggling for viewership. There really was no sizzle. There really was no pop, no pun intended. And they worked out this deal with Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson just basically went in with the most simplistic idea, which is like, okay, not only am I going to go in and I'm going to do like this halftime show, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to give these guys a freaking concert. I'm going to like go in there and I'm just going to, like I do when I tour the world, I'm going to bring it to the NFL halftime show. And everybody knows about the long relationship that Michael Jackson had with Pepsi. And, hard to believe, 25 years ago, 25, how time just freaking flies, man. But I thought that was an interesting milestone. I forgot how I got a hold of that info. I think maybe a buddy had texted me or something like that, because he had remembered how much of a Michael Jackson fan I was. But Justin Timberlake, he did a really great job tonight. A really great job with the Pepsi halftime show. I was a little bit blown when I saw the people that were kicking back, and when it first opened up, they had their cell phones all out in the open, and I'm kind of going, is this where we are now in society when it comes to going to concerts and experience? Like, I can understand taking a quick picture. I can definitely understand that, because you want to be like, hey, guess where I am? Especially if you're able to get yourself in the picture and you're like, don't you wish you were me, or whatever like that. But to see all these people that literally were just recording, it's like, nah, man, like the memories are here. It's not in the phone. What happens if you lose the phone? You're busy doing all that silly ass recording when you should just be kicking back, and you're like, you're there, you're live, you can touch the guy, just enjoy the moment. That's the stuff that you'll remember for years to come. You'll remember where you were. I remember still where I was, even though my seats weren't that good. I remember where I was, rewinding it back years back. Not to bore you guys, but I remember where I was when I went to Constitution Hall to see Robert Plant and his Band of Joy. And I was in DC at Constitution Hall, and it was a great night. My seats were decent. Could have been a little bit better, but they were decent seats, right? Wasn't able, with the phone I had at the time, wasn't really able to take the type of shots that I wanted to, but I kicked back and I just enjoyed the atmosphere. I enjoyed talking to the people. I enjoyed the performance. That's what it was all about. Guys, I can't stress it enough. And maybe it's just me being a product child of the 80s. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is, but and when you get these opportunities to go to concerts and everything and be a part of these shows, it's put the goddamn phones down and just enjoy it. I don't know how many of you guys were like irritated with that, but like for me, it was just put the phones down already. Great set that he did. Me and the family were having a couple of laughs. I said, somebody has said to me a long time ago, I don't know who it was, but I was kind of going, what are you smoking? I was going, Jigga, what you smoking? They had said to me, I don't know, Lee, but Justin Timberlake, he is the new king of pop. He is the new successor to Michael Jackson. And I'm kind of going, and I'm thinking, well, if Elvis Presley's daughter and Michael Jackson had a kid, like legitimately had a kid together, it would probably come out Justin Timberlake. I could see that. New king of pop. I don't know, man. I kind of gotta, I see some of these new artists that's been running around the past couple of years. If I'm gonna go the king of pop route, call it controversial what I'm getting ready to say, but I kind of would rather go with Bruno Mars before I go with Justin Timberlake. That's just me. To each its own. But Justin is good. He's good now. Great set. We heard rumblings that Janet Jackson was maybe going to be part of this halftime show. We didn't get that. I mean, she was pretty adamant on social media. She's like, no, I'm not going to be part of that. It's not happening. Like, I appreciate you guys putting my name out there, but no. This isn't happening. Didn't happen. Then we hear the rumblings that there was going to be a Prince hologram. Like, how badass is that? Oh my God, we're going to get a Prince hologram, kind of like the Tupac joint at Coachella from a couple of years back. Like, we're going to get that. Whew, that'd be freaking sweet. We did not get that. Instead, it looked as though we had got some motion images from it seemed like Prince's Purple Rain movie with Prince singing, oh God, I can't remember. What was the song, guys? What was the song that Justin Timberlake was singing there? Was it Purple? It wasn't Purple Rain. Wasn't Purple Rain. I don't think it was Purple Rain. Can't remember it now. That's sad. That sucks. But no, just to see the drapes, and you've got Prince Urban saying, yeah. Which song was it? Was it Purple Rain or was it, for some reason, I'm thinking if it wasn't Purple Rain, I'm thinking Let's Go Crazy. Oh no, it wasn't Let's Go Crazy. It seemed like a slow ballad, something old school. I'll rely on you guys to help me out a little more. But I thought for the little brief cameo that we had from Prince, in the little drapes, it was kind of like a projectile screen or whatever. I thought that was kind of cool the way they did that. I know some people were a little bit disappointed, but like for me personally, if a Prince hologram is going to be resurfacing or servicing anywhere, I think at this point it needs to happen at Coachella. That's like the best way that it can go down, especially if it's a situation where I would die for you. Thank you, Austin. Thank you. I knew it was kind of like a slow ballad kind, at least the way Justin did his rendition of it. Yeah, I love the way that Justin Timberlake did that nice nod to Prince. And honestly, that was like for me, that was like the first ever true acknowledgement / nod, like nationally, that like everybody would be able to see and experience this in their homes. Like, yeah, that weekend of NFL football, right after we heard the news that Prince died and everything, it was kind of like, oh man, like I remember they was just all over the place pumping Let's Go Crazy, I Would Die for You. I mean, they were playing like all the hits for like all the NFL games you were checking out. You're kind of going, damn, okay, well, that's good. But we never did really have that proper, I don't know, it kind of seemed like we never did have that proper send-off. And just for the record, Prince had died April 21st of 2016. Obviously, the NFL season was like already wrapped up. But I'm saying when you went into that respected season, that would be the 2016-17 season of the NFL. They pretty much were like kind of like giving their nod, but I don't know, for me it kind of seemed like we never did really have that true proper nod to the purple one. So I found it fitting that on a night that you have the Super Bowl playing in Minnesota is getting the game. Yeah, what better way to, and that's kind of like hard to believe, like we're going to be approaching April real soon and it's going to be the 2-year anniversary of Prince passing. It's amazing how time flies. I mean, for me, it still feels like Prince had died last year. Great performances, though, by Justin Timberlake. We didn't see any cameos from anybody. I was kind of having my fingers crossed, hoping that maybe we'd get to see a little bit of an NSYNC reunion or whatever. But old man, let me not call him old man because he's about my age. What is he? 37? Justin Timberlake, 37. Still got the moves. I loved it. I loved it. It was one of the best. I put the tweet out there. I said it was one of the best halftime performances that I've seen, that I enjoyed from top to bottom in recent years. I even enjoyed it better than Lady Gaga's halftime show. I would have to put Timberlake's performance right up there with Prince's performance, quite honestly. Bruno Mars was okay, but just within recent years, I gotta say Justin Timberlake, for me, that was the best I've seen since Prince did his set. maybe I could jump out there and say Bruce Springsteen, E Street Band, because I'm a big fan of them. Maybe I could say it's almost kind of right up there with that. I'm not sure how you guys personally feel, but great performance overall. I'm actually looking forward to checking out Justin Timberlake's new album. Of course, with Justin Timberlake doing what he's normally doing, you know he's going to pop up on the Jimmy Fallon show, and they have lots of fun over there. Side note, did anybody see that one time that Justin Timberlake had appeared on the Stephen Colbert show? I mean, Justin seemed like he did not want to do that show. I mean, you could literally feel that Justin Timberlake felt as though he was betraying Jimmy Fallon. And I don't know what were the arrangements, what were the circumstances for Timberlake doing the Stephen Colbert show, but you can't help but wonder, like, is he even going to go back on that show? Or if Colbert's going to be like, I don't want that guy on my show again. And it really seemed like he really wasn't all into it. If you guys didn't, go back and check it out. I've seen Justin Timberlake on a lot of shows over the years, whether he's promoting a movie or he's promoting a new album. He is like, every show he's on, he's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very personal, not in a like, well, my kid did this, but he's very, it's a friendly energy personal, right? He's got the comic relief. He's just a great guest. But for some reason on Stephen Colbert, it was ice cold. I don't know what that was about. Let's talk about some of these commercials, shall we? Now, again, this year, I would not be surprised if a lot of commercials had premiered on social media platforms. So if the commercials I'm getting ready to run down real quickly here, if it was not on social media, but there's something you want to bring to me and the other listeners' attentions, as far as there was something exclusive on social media, you're just going to have to mention that commercial in the comment section. But let's talk about movies first. Wasn't that many that we got this year? We've got the new Han Solo movie, the Star Wars prequel, if you will, that is being directed by Ron Howard. That is going to be premiering May 25th. You've also got the new Mission Impossible Fallout. That's going to be in theaters. That was a great trailer, by the way, the Mission Impossible. That was a pretty decent trailer. We're getting that one July 27th. A week before that, or maybe 2 weeks before that, we've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson starring in his new movie, Skyscraper. That actually looked pretty good. My girl was like, can you take me to see that? That would be so awesome. I'm like, yeah, sure. She loves Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. For you Cloverfield fans, there is a Cloverfield, I don't know if it's a series or if it's a movie, that's actually going to be premiering on Netflix. Should be on Netflix right now. Do check it out after you get done with us, though. Yeah, that's actually available right now, so that should be good. I creamed my pants with the new Avengers Infinity War trailer. I haven't actually, believe it or not, I haven't actually seen any images, trailers, or anything like that. So to actually I creamed my pants. I love that. I like, I'm so ready for that. Let's see what else. I feel like I'm missing maybe one more movie, but it looks like that's it. Han Solo, Skyscraper, Mission Impossible, Fallout. We had Cloverfield. Seems like I'm missing one more movie. Well, we already know about Black Panther. Black Panther's getting ready to come out, like 2 weeks or something like that. Like the 16th, February 16th is getting ready to come out. Seems like there's something missing, but from what I remember, because I like wrote them all down. So that's it for movies. All right, let's continue on. Let's talk about some of these commercials. Oh, well, can I go with who's the winner for commercials? For me, I got to give it up to, and it's a tie. For me, it's a tie. I got to give it up to Alexa. Alexa had a hilarious commercial where the Alexa voice, whoever's doing the voice for Alexa, the female, she got sick or whatever. And basically, you had the Amazon owner, CEO. He's like, okay, well, can we get her fixed? Like, what can we do? And you got the team, they're going, nothing to worry about, sir. We just got to remove a couple of parts, and we got some pretty innovative ideas. Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. And then you see this guy who goes, Alexa, can you tell me how I can make a grilled cheese sandwich? And the freaking voice is Chef Gordon Ramsay. The bloody hell, you mean you don't know how to make a bloody fucking sandwich? Are you that fucking stupid? And you're just, you couldn't help but just, I died laughing. I died laughing. That was just freaking hilarious. I'm sorry for the profanity because I know we're probably going to have some younger folks listening. I apologize. I just had to go there because when you think of Chef Gordon Ramsay, that's just how he is. He's always cursing his butt off. But that was hilarious. And then you see this woman that's trying to call her boyfriend or something like that. And you get Sir Anthony Hopkins. He's like, oh, Julie, Mark isn't available right now. He's tied up at the moment. Yeah, you kind of got like a Silence of the Lamb type of vibe. I was enjoying the hell out of that one. You had that big girl, the big blonde girl from Pitch Perfect, the Pitch Perfect trilogy. She did one, and she was talking about how hot and sticky the bush is or whatever. that was like one of the winners for me. That was a good strong commercial. Runner up for that one for me, like I said, it was a tie. I'm giving it to Alexa, and I'm also giving it to the Mountain Dew Doritos Blaze commercial. I'm sorry, even though this had already kind of leaked out, and we kind of saw a little bit of it on social media and all that, to like, I don't know how you guys are, but like for me, I kind of do my best to stay a little bit rogue from social media over the years when it comes to the Super Bowls, because I just want to Super Bowl Sunday. I just want to be in front of the TV. I want to see the commercials that way. It just has a more profound impact on me as I'm watching it that way versus, okay, it leaked or you can see it. I don't want to see it early. It's the yearly traditions. Like you get to see it Super Bowl Sunday as you're with your friends, family, watching the big TV. I got to give it up to that though. I love seeing my man from freaking Game of Thrones, Tyrone. I can't think of his, or Tyron. I can't think of his last name. To see him just rapping the Busta Rhymes. I don't know how long it took him to rehearse that, but like my man he was rapping literally like Busta Rhymes. And anybody that knows about Busta Rhymes music, when you just see Tyron he was just rolling. I love that. That was hilarious for me. But then just when you think it's over, you get freaking Morgan Freeman, who's drinking Mountain Dew Ice. I hear it's actually a pretty damn good drink, by the way. I want to say maybe I had a little taste of it. It was too sweet for me. I can't really say for sure, but I'm like 60% certain I did drink that before. So you guys might actually like that stuff. I can't even tolerate the old school Mountain Dew like I used to. But though, to see Morgan Freeman come on out there and he's pretty much lip syncing to, what was it, Get Your Freak On or whatever. I'm just like, this is the wildest freaking commercial I've seen in a long time. That was awesome. That was awesome. So for me, it's a tie. It's a tie for Alexa and the Dorito / Mountain Dew Ice. That gets the nod for best commercial this year. Worst commercial. Y'all may be like, Lee, nah, man, I gotta go there. The Tide commercials. They did nothing for me. They did nothing for me. All the money that Tide had spent, and I get it. I think honestly, Tide had did this because they were trying to do a little bit of damage control, because I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but the new trend now is to get high off of Tide Pods. Yeah. So bad enough, we got little kids that's thinking these Tide Pods are toys and they can put them in their mouth, and then they're, and they're vomiting and all that other crap. But now that's like, apparently these Tide Pods are like the new way to get high. And it's been picking up a lot more in the press. So to me, this just kind of came off as a cheap tactic to try to take some of that negative press off and try to do something that's funny, but none of the Tide commercials were funny at all. They're not even memorable. I mean, they had so many spots that were not funny. Now some would say, well, what about the Mr. Clean joint with the lady just creaming her pants because she's dancing with Mr. Clean or whatever? And for me, it's like, well, what about the Old Spice guy on the horse and the Tide guy? No, no, they were weak. Those were probably the weakest commercials. There was, I don't know if this commercial had really stood out to you all, but as far as like most impactful, sentimental, like get involved, there was a helppetshelter.org plug that had popped up, and you like see this dog in the street and it's just sitting there and there's a bowl in front of it, and like people are passing by and they're giving the dog coins, like they're putting coins in the dog's bowl. And you hear the narrator talk about how hey, you got the all this money that's being raised by the Animal Humane Society, like they're saying they're going to help out dogs and pets and animals that need shelters, but they're taking a big chunk of that money and they're basically paying executives, giving themselves bonuses, things of that nature. And the whole moral of this commercial was, if you want to donate, don't donate to the Humane Society, donate to your local shelters, because they're the ones that, without a doubt, they're going to be filling it. You're doing it the right way. You're helping them stay in business. You're helping them be in a position where the less they have to euthanize animals, because you're giving the animals a home and you're keeping those guys around in business. Like, to donate to them, the money's definitely going where it needs to go. So for me, I don't know how many of y'all had got a chance to see that commercial, but helppetshelters.org, that was definitely one that really stood out to me from just the sentimental, like most impactful, like get involved in your community. That for me was pretty on point. I enjoyed the Chris Pratt Michelob beer commercial. I love that one. Chris Pratt thinking that this job is his, and no, he's just one of several extras. It was a two-parter. I love that one. That was a great one. Ram definitely needs to get a nod. Ram had two hilarious commercials this year. You had the first one where you had a bunch of Vikings. They were all getting together and they're looking at the schedule for the NFL. And I guess the Vikings, they didn't have a game, so they just decided they were going to make a U-turn, ride a boat, and that one was hilarious. The second one was more sentimental. Can't remember the exact details for the second Ram commercial, but I remember both of them were like, okay, that's pretty good. Decent nod goes out to Jeff Goldblum and the Jeep commercial that he was in. We saw a much younger Jeff Goldblum who was in the scene in Jurassic Park. He was trying to outrun one of the dinosaurs, and now you fast forward, you see older Jeff Goldblum, and it's the same scenario again, only this time apparently he's in the Jeep chasing that same that same dinosaur or whatever, and then looks like he's having some type of a flashback, or he's just daydreaming because the car dealer lady is like, did you want to take it out for a test run? And Jeff Goldblum's like, I already have. And that was kind of a nice commercial. A little weak, but I thought it was decent. We're sticking to cars. I enjoyed the hell out of the Kia Stinger commercial that had featured Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. And I love how like this race is supposed to go down between him and this other guy, but rather than Steve get in the car, go forward, he just goes backwards. Like he actually backs his vehicle up and he's driving backwards in a circle. And when you see what goes down, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And to basically see Steven Tyler become young Steven Tyler, you're going, oh, that's kind of cool. On a sidebar, I couldn't help but be like, wow, man, Steven Tyler is looking more and more like James Franco. Like it's just eerie, kind of like an eerie resemblance there. Did I mention how I creamed my pants on the Avengers Infinity War trailer, by the way? Oh, I can't wait for that. May 4th for you guys. Monster had a pretty decent commercial. I enjoyed their commercial. You had some young guy, Japanese guy, Filipino guy that was on a train, and he's just like lost in the moments, looking at everybody that's around him, who are most of them are like listening to music, and they've got like the trademark iPod headphones or the Samsung headphones or whatever. And like as the train that he's on makes a stop, he hears like the most prettiest voice out on the train platform, kind of like what you see in New York and other cities. You see people that are at the train station platform, they're singing all that good stuff, trying to get some money, or maybe they're just trying to hook their skills up or whatever. They're just trying to, hey, since I'm in this environment, I got to make sure I have my range, got to make sure I'm reaching everybody. Let me practice here. He liked what he heard. And I guess his whole thing was, okay, I need to go back to the studio and I got to figure out how to make some really cool design headphones so that, when I'm trying to hear stuff like that, it's in my ears and my ears only. I can drown out the rest of the noise. And so he started designing these monster headphones. And I had kind of got the impression, I don't know if you all had got the impression as well, but I had got the impression like towards the end, when the young man is able to see the good that his headphones has done for everybody that's now pushing them, he's like in the back of this car, and then there's like this older Japanese guy that's like, we're just getting started, kid. Wait till you see what the future holds. I couldn't help but it was kind of like misinterpreted right there. Like the guy that's saying this to him, was that his father? Was that his future self? Like, was it old man monster headphone creator talking to the younger version of himself, or what? But I like that commercial. That definitely had stood out to me a lot. See what other commercials we got here. I'm pretty much running down them. There's not that many more commercials to talk about. Hyundai had a pretty decent commercial as well. Let's see, Ameritrade with Lionel Richie. I wasn't sure what to expect for that commercial, but it went in a direction like, okay, where are they going? I'm not really sure where they're going. And you had the two Ameritrade guys, one on the right, one on the far left, and you've got Lionel Richie center, and they're trying to get him to say all night long, and Lionel Richie is like saying all of these other things, and finally they're like, you're not going to say it, are you? And it just goes off like that. That was hilarious. I enjoyed that one. That was a pretty hilarious commercial. See who else we got. Mass Mutual. Hey, we got to give a strong nod. And this was close to being my winner, but when I saw the Alexa and the Doritos joint, I was like, but can I give a nod to Danny DeVito and the M&M's commercial? That was hilarious to see the red M&M and the brown M&M walking down the street. And basically the red M&M is like, I wish people wouldn't be so attracted to me. I wish people wouldn't be trying to eat me all the damn time. And he finds a penny and he gets his wish. The red M&M turns into Danny DeVito. And he's like, oh my God, I'm human. And he's just running up to people. Hey, would you like to eat me? And we're like, no. And I like that one part where Danny DeVito runs up to this one person and he's like, hey, do you want to eat me? And the guy's like, no. And Danny DeVito's like, would you like to eat me? And you're like, what the hell? That was the most hilarious freaking joint. That was awesome. I love that. You know what? I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to put the Danny DeVito M&M's commercial. We got a triple tie. I'm going to make it a triple tie. So that, the Alexa commercial, and the Doritos / Mountain Dew Ice commercial. That's my three-way tie right there. They all were just equally funny. Rocket Mortgage had a decent commercial. You guys are a lot better with names than I am, but the guy that had created Get Out, the show that he had on Comedy Central, whoever his co-host was in a Rocket Mortgage commercial. That was kind of funny. Like every single time you had like a situation where like you had this one woman, she was looking on her phone and she was looking at guys to date. And one guy in his profile is said he's an entrepreneur, and dude just basically comes in and he's like, nope, that means unemployed. And it was just like a playoff of scenarios like that. There was a picture that an art couple were looking at. It was like a white canvas with like a gray dot in the center. And he just walked past and he was like, That's just a white wall with a dot. Like, it's not that big of a deal. That was actually it was cute. It was a cute commercial. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, Febreze. They did not hit a home run this year. So Febreze usually makes some pretty good commercials. They did not do it this year. They had a hashtag bleep don't stink. I get it, but I kind of felt it wasn't executed as well. Not memorable, not memorable at all. A weak, very weak commercial. Probably the worst. I would definitely say the worst. Right up under Tide. Right up under Tide. Um, Pringles. Pringles had a commercial. We had guys that basically were eating. Thank you, Trexter. Jordan Peele and Keegan Michael Key. Yeah, Keegan Michael. Keegan Michael, just to backtrack a little bit, Keegan Michael was the one that was in the Rocket Mortgage commercial I was telling you guys about. Yeah, we saw a Pringles commercial. I thought maybe they were getting ready to introduce a new flavor. It was nothing like that. You basically had three guys, and there was a can of pizza Pringles, there was a can of barbecue Pringles, and there was a can of jalapeno Pringles. Say that 10 times fast. And one of the guys had took a pizza Pringle and he put it on top of a barbecue Pringle. And they're like, oh my God, like, dude, you just made a barbecue Pringle. It's like, yeah, oh my God. And then like another guy was like, put a jalapeno on it, man. And so he put the jalapeno Pringle chip on it, and they're like, oh my God, dude, you just made a barbecue pizza jalapeno Pringle. And they're like, yeah. And it was just seemed like a commercial. Like if you were smoking a couple of big fat fatties, you'd probably would just get a really kick and riot out of that one. But for me, it just it really wasn't banging like that. Also, odd commercial. It honestly did not make me want to go online. There was a weird Squarespace commercial with Keanu Reeves, who was standing on top of a motorcycle as it was riding. As it was in motion, like the ignition and all that was on, and he's just standing on top of it, saying this chi, yoga type or whatever. I'm sorry. Like if I have to go out of my way to go on a website just to, I'm not doing it. Like, make your point. You got the ad space. You're on TV. This is your chance to connect to millions. Like, make your point. And that just it fell very, very short. It did not make me want to, oh my God, like on my phone, or oh my God, on my tablet, or oh my God, on my computer. I've got to see what Squarespace is about. I've got to see what this whole thing is with Keanu and Squarespace. It didn't make me do that. It was like, okay, whatever. Next commercial. Same thing for HQ. I don't know what the hell that was about, but I tell you what, I appreciated she looked mixed. I don't know if she was Hispanic or biracial or what, but you had some weird HQ commercial with some chick that was bouncing up and down. I appreciated seeing her bouncing up and down because that was like the best action I got, aside from the little that I saw of the cheerleaders tonight at the Super Bowl game. Wank, wank. I didn't care for the HQ commercial. Those were weak as well. We pretty much had covered like all the commercials that had came on. Can I go back to Mass Mutual one more time? I want to highlight Mass Mutual. Mass Mutual had this whole, I'll stand by you. I won't let anybody hurt you. I'll stand by you. And when you're watching it, you're kind of going, oh, what a really cool commercial. Like, it doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your sex. It doesn't matter your creed. Like, we're all together. I mean, that's what, you're looking for, like that patriotic moment, and you're kind of going, oh, wow, this is cool. But then you realize, like, I thought for sure this was going to tie in something like some type of a PA, right? Some type of a PA message or something. No, it's Mass Mutual. And I'm kind of, I look to my girl and I say, well, there's one color that matters. And she's like, yeah, green. And if you ain't got it, Mass Mutual don't want to see your ass. It's like, yeah, exactly. but that was decent. This year I got to give all of these advertisers a lot of credit. Budweiser had a spot too, basically hyping up how when tragedies come about, they give water. They do it like every year. They give water. That's great, Budweiser. Really, that's great. Um, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could cut a couple of $1 million worth of checks to those in need, like on top of the water. That's all I'm saying. You want a cookie? I mean, don't get me wrong, that's great. But you shouldn't have to be boosting about, well, look what we did. Just do it. You pick up the press naturally when you don't have to do a commercial out of it. That's all I'm saying. Like every single time the Salvation Army, like you don't see them every single 5 minutes. Look what we did. It's no. But and then we had a really weak commercial, avocados from Mexico. I almost forgot about that one. That was pretty weak. Yeah, that was pretty much the commercials. And the point that I was getting ready to make earlier, I got to give a mad props to all the advertisers this year, because this would have been a great opportunity for a lot of these advertisers, a lot of these brands to try to send some type of a message to Wall Street that, like, hey, what's going on with Trump and his administration? This really would have been a really good opportunity to go in that direction. And I think all the advertisers, all the brands, I think they took a cue out of what had went down last year when they tried to be a little bit political, when they tried to be a little bit controversial, and that alienated millions of North Americans that were like, look, man, at the end of the day, I don't care about the politics. I don't care about red state, blue state. I don't care about Democrats. I don't care about I just want to watch a really good game. I want to have myself a good time and see some really good commercials. And I think for all of the branding companies, that struck a chord with them last year and this year, for the most part, I think they did it. Dare I say, they did a good job staying away from those type of things that I just described. It was just pretty much, okay, let's try to have some good, straight up, decent fun that people will walk away on Monday. But I gotta say, in recent years, the commercials really weren't that impressive. I mean, just to recap again, you got a three-way tie: Danny DeVito, M&M's, Alexa, Dorito slash Mountain Dew Ice. I mean, that was really it. Those were it. If you were a movie fan, like I said, Han Solo, The Rock and Skyscraper, Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, Mission Impossible, Fallout. You got the Netflix Cloverfield that's on right now. You've got Avengers Infinity War that's coming out May 4th. That's really it. I mean, the rest of the commercials was just pretty flat this year. So what I want to do right now, I want to poke my head in the chat and I want to just read some of the comments that we got that's coming in right now and see what you all had thought about the game. Also, before you guys hit on off, I definitely want to know what you thought about tonight's Super Bowl game. So you can let me know by heading on over to the communities tab over on the channel right now, and you can cast your vote. I'm actually putting it in right now. And I'm going to give you guys two polls tonight. I'm going to give you all two different polls. The first one, I'm asking you all, what did you think about the Super Bowl? So let me type that up right now. What did you think about the Super Bowl overall? Two options, keeping it simplistic: thumbs up, thumbs down. So you can cast your vote that way. And I'll give you guys one more vote. That first poll that I mentioned, that's now live. So you guys can open up a new tab, try that one. And then the second one, I'm asking you all, what did you think of the 2018 Super Bowl commercials overall? And we'll say overall, great. And we'll say only a handful were good. And we'll say wasn't that impressed this year? All sucked. Yeah, that's fair, right? All right, so those two polls are now live. Go ahead, cast your vote, and let us poke our head in the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying now, man. And hey, you guys, if you haven't done so, leave me them thumbs up, man. And for sure, do me an extra favor. When this becomes available to watch on demand, do me a favor, come on back, leave your comment in the comment section, and let me know what you had thought was the best moments for Super Bowl. It could be during the game, it could be a commercial, you could even bring up the halftime, but definitely cast your vote. Let me know what was going on. I'm looking at what Trexter is saying. Trexter said that for him, the Cloverfield spot, that was like the best ad. Revoked Fate. I only saw snippets of it for a few seconds as I was flipping the channels. And I saw just the whole, it was like 2 seconds. Jack in the Box versus Martha Stewart. Sadly, I don't know how it was for you guys on the West Coast, but like on the East Coast, far as I know, we don't have a Jack in the Box. Like there's nothing in the DMV. I would imagine, I bet you if I were to go on Google right now and be like nearest, and I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna say nearest Jack in the Box restaurant. Let's see where the nearest one is. Yeah, because Jack in the Box, that used to be a West Coast thing, from what I remember. Okay, I'm on their website right now, and let's enter my zip code. Let's see where the nearest Jack in the Box is. Let's see here. Yes, know my location. yeah, nothing in the DMV. It's not even giving me New York. It's not even giving me Chicago. That joint's like, yeah, no, nothing. So yeah, that's why I didn't talk about it, because Jack in the Box is mainly like a West Coast thing. But the little bit that I saw, it looked like it was funny. I got McKee saying that there's one in NYC, possibly. Oh, no. Let me back up. No, I got McKee saying I'm in New York City. I have never, ever seen Jack in the Box in my life. Yeah, when I lived in California years back in early 90s. So I was out there like 90, 91, left in 92. Yeah, Jack in the Boxes were like mad freaking crazy. Like on the East Coast, what would be equivalent to Jack in the Box, for those of you that's like, what the hell is a Jack in the Box? Jack in the Box is basically equivalent to like Checkers, Hardee's, maybe a little bit of, what's the commercial with the two guys, and they're always doing the little silly things with the food. You know the commercial I'm talking about. You restaurant guys, you know the commercial I'm talking about. Don't fake like you don't know either. You know you've eaten there just like I've eaten there. That's sad. Like I'm talking about the two guys. Sonic, yes, yeah. It's kind of like Sonic, basically. So Sonic, Hardee's, Carl Jr.'s, that's how I would describe Jack in the Box, basically, to somebody that like has never eaten there before. Very popular chain all over in the West Coast. Let's see what else we got here. Looking in the chat some more. I got KAD talking about how Philly fans have swarmed the city. I would imagine it is a big old clusterfuck right now. Shout out to Gino. At this point, I would imagine in Philly right now, it probably is a Jurassic World right now. To Gino's point, he enjoyed the Jurassic World movie trailer. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I don't mean to pick on Nick Foles, but you gotta admit, Nick Foles is just, well, I'm really happy that we were able to go out here and we were able to win this game. And it was what can I say? Patriots, they had played a really good game. You got to give it up to Coach Belichick. You got to give it up to Todd Brady. Just really, just great team. But, tonight we were able to prevail. And you got Michelle Tafoya and them. So, Nick, I mean, it's a great moment. And you're like, what are you going to do now? Well, I'm going to get with my family and, My daughter's 7 months old. We're, gonna go on home back to the hotel. We're gonna have a couple of drinks and I wanna relax for the night. And it was a well fought team, well fought win, well fought victory. That's what we're gonna do. Um, that's what we're going to do right now. Oh my God, Nick Foles! I was just informed that you had won you got voted the MVP for the Super Bowl. How do you feel? Well, I just want to say I thank everybody that had voted for me and gave me this honor. I really appreciate it. Oh my God, Nick Foles! You just won a new Ram vehicle and a check for $500,000. That's a lot of money. Well, I tell you what, talk about a very kind gesture. I really appreciate that. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the kind folks with the money and whoever gave me the car. I really, I mean, I need to see this guy get some. I need to see this guy get some freaking energy in him bad, man. He needs to work on that next season, man. He needs to work on that next season. I don't mean to pick. I love Nick, but he's too cool in my book, man. He's just too damn cool. He's like Val Kilmer and Iceman. Tom Cruise and them, Maverick, Top Gun. He's like ice cold. Like he shows some type of emotion, man. Well, hell, even Iceman had more emotion than freaking Nick Foles, man. And to Truckster's point, yeah, with regards to Jack in the Box, what we were talking about earlier, it is a West Coast thing. They dominate like hell out there. Let's see what we got here. Oh god, you guys are killing me, man. Let's see. Yes, we're live right now. Okay, let me see before we wrap it up for tonight. Let me just take a look at how the early votes are coming in right now. And again, for those of you that's just now tuning in, I've got 2 polls that's up right now. One of them, I'm asking you all, what did you think about the Super Bowl overall? Simple. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Second vote, what did you think of the 2018 Super Bowl commercials overall? Those 2 are now live right now. You just go on over to the main channel for the RCWR show, click on the communities tab, and you'll see these 2 options. Also, I am thinking about opening up a store on Pro Wrestling Tees. That is going to stay open until the 28th of February. So 28th of this month. If you have not voted yet, go and cast your vote. Just scroll down just a little bit. You'll see it. It's like in the top 5, 6 polls that I have put out recently. You can't miss it. Cast your vote that way. And if you've already cast your vote, thank you so much in advance. Right now, with regards to the Super Bowl commercials, what did you all think overall with the early votes coming in? We've got a tie at 40%. 40% of you felt overall great. Meanwhile, the other 40% of you all only thought a handful of the commercials were good. And 20% of you wasn't that impressed this year. All sucked. And with regards to what did you think about the Super Bowl overall, the game itself, so far, we've got overwhelming 100%. Votes are still early, but so far we got overwhelming 100% that are saying the Super Bowl game was a thumbs up. So I wonder if that changed recently. No, it didn't change. And I just refreshed one more time. Now we've got the Super Bowl commercial ads taking the lead at 57%. Overall, great. 29%, only a handful were good. And 14% wasn't that impressed this year. All sucked. All right, so keep going, keep casting those votes. And that is going to do it for now. I'm going to stick a fork in it. We're going to call this show DONE, done. Your next edition of the RCWR show is going to come at you guys live Tuesday night, February 6, 2018. I will be live right here on YouTube after WWE SmackDown goes off the air. I will be talking about the very latest in wrestling, entertainment, sports news, pop culture. You know how we do it on the RCWR show, man. Keeping you entertained since 2011. So do tune in. I promise it is going to be a fantastic show. Everybody that had chipped in and interacted during the live stream, appreciate it. Appreciate those of you that's going to be checking this out on demand, which will be available shortly. Give me those thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Share, retweet, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. Use the keywords, the RCWR Show. That is going to do it. I'm wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you next go round. Good night and good morning.